Hello, come and sit on the mat, comfortable seated position. Whatever that may be for your body, just checking in. You need to feel that you can relax into the breath. So if the body is too tense, if you're not in a position that's suitable for you, then just modify. You don't have to sit with your crossed legs, with your legs crossed. You can just anything, right? Close your eyes if they're not already, and just start coming into the breath. So we're not really doing anything here. We're just moving our awareness into the breath and just observing, just feeling how the body responds to that movement of energy that we call breathing. And the breath it's multi-leveled. There is the very physical aspect of the breath. There's the energetic aspect of the breath, you know, the movement of energy. And there's also the spiritual aspect of the breath as well. You know, when we focus on the breath, you know, where that can take us to. So this practice, this 45-minute-ish practice, focusing on the breath with the intention to just bring us into a place where we feel a little bit calmer, perhaps a little bit more centered, a little bit more balanced, a little bit more grounded, things that I'm sure all of us could do with in everyday life. So if you'd like to come with me, opening up this practice with the sound of Om, then please do. And if it's not your thing, just listen. Hands into Namaste. If you're coming with me, soft exhale out through the mouth. Deep inhale to Om. A few breaths, being with the breath, observing the breath. The intention every time we practice is to stay in this steady focus. If you've been in Namaste, releasing the hands and crossing, if it's not already there, your left shin in front of your right. So we'll move into side bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the left side of the torso. Try not to bring the shoulder up to the ear. It's more a sense of lengthening through the side of the waist. On exhale, soften, just soften the navel and front rib cage in and move over into side bend. Don't have a huge disconnect in the right side of the body, okay? We don't want to compromise here. There's still a little bit of length through the right side of the torso as well. Just check that your right elbow is soft, the shoulder is relaxed, and the left shoulder blade, even if it doesn't want to do this, just feel like you're trying to wrap it in towards your armpit, okay? So this will support us in a really functional way once we're on our hands. If you can, with an exhale, just softening right ear to right shoulder, a little bit of neck release here. And I say if you can, because necks aren't always able to release straight away. They carry a lot of tension. So we're not forcing, we're not pushing. It's just an invitation with the exhale for right ear to soften towards right shoulder if it wants to go there. Okay, our practice isn't a place where we use force, aggression, you know, desire, need, want, supposed to be looking like this, should be doing that. You know, just let go of that, okay? That lives off the mat. So one more deep breath, just breathing down into the left side pelvis. Exhale, glide low jaw left to right, and maybe a little bit of tension releases around the eyes. To come up to seated, just release your left arm down, bring your torso up. We're going to do an upright twist over to the right. So there can be a tendency to use our arms as levers, okay, which can maybe send the body a little bit deeper than it wants to go right now. So we're going to get the arms out of the way and just work with the breath. So just placing your hands, if you're okay with it, on your upper chest or just anywhere that feels comfortable to you. Soft exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, reach up through the crown of the head, gently anchor sit bones down at the same time. Exhale, draw the navel into the spine and twist from there over towards the right. Now, if you feel your left sit bone, your left buttocks like popping up off the floor, if you can, just really anchor that down. We're not going to use the arms here at all, just working with the breath and working with like muscular activation in the mid-torso. The inhales bring in length and a sense of grounding. The exhales, navel and front rib cage draw in, and then maybe the torso twists a little bit more. You know, maybe it doesn't, and that doesn't matter. Yoga is not a goal-orientated, achievement-focused movement practice. I mean, this isn't yoga, this is an asana practice, which is part of the system of yoga. So the asana practice isn't about achieving or striving. It's an opportunity to come deeper into the breath, to use physical poses to open up the body so that we can respond more to that movement of energy that we call breathing. And then on the exhale, when it comes, just come back to center. So just never get caught up in the aesthetic of the pose, okay? Change the cross of the legs. It's about feeling, it's about the breath. It's about not getting caught up into that striving or should do, must do, supposed to be, wish I could, not good enough because I'm not doing this, that, and everything else. So side bend, other side on the right. Inhale again from the waist. So you want to lift out of the pelvis. Don't send your shoulder up to your ear, although most shoulders are quite comfy living up there. On the exhale, soften the front body in, coming into side bend. Again, try not to disconnect a lot through the left side of the body. Keeping the left elbow relaxed and the shoulder is soft. And if it's okay to let go your neck, just exhale left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale, breathe down into right side pelvis. Exhale, just inviting right shoulder blade to wrap in towards the armpits. You're trying to wrap it forward a little bit. This is to practice using the right muscles for when we're on our hands, okay? It's not often I say there's a right or a wrong in yoga, but there really is in how we use certain muscles when we're on our hands. So eyes closed here, working and feeling, attentive to the breath. One more. And maybe using the exhale, gliding the low jaw left to right, softening tension around the eyes. Release the right arm down, bring the torso up. We're going to move into a twist over towards the left. Again, no use of the hands. So just getting them out of the way, just resting them on your heart space. Mine's not right on my heart because that's where the mic is. So that's why I'm a little bit out away from the body. So again, the inhale, lifting up through the crown, anchoring down through the sit bones. From here on the exhale, navel and front rib cage draws in, and it's that drawing back, that muscular activation that maybe sends our torso around into the twist. Again, if your right sit bone or your buttock just popped off the floor, just try and anchor it back down. You can use an inhale if you want, use your hand if you want, it's up to you. Again, with the inhale, when it comes, that lifting up through crown, that anchoring down through sit bones. To then exhale, really muscular activation. This is, you know, working the core here, maybe twisting the torso deeper, maybe it doesn't move at all. And we don't care. It's learning not to care whether we get deeper or not, you know, and seeing getting deeper as something good, achieving a goal, and not getting deeper as something negative. And then maybe we get into a dialogue or a story about not good at yoga or not flexible enough, or, you know, the things that can go around in our head. When your exhale comes, just come back to center. Release the legs out, coming onto all fours for a little bit of cat-cow. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the pelvis. Here as well, try and keep the elbows soft, okay? So you don't want to lock them out. You don't want to jack your shoulders up towards your ears. Working with your breath, cat-cow. On the inhale, just try and let the belly go, like let it hang loose. Heart space open. Don't look up because you don't want to, you know, hyperextend into the neck. So look forward, but still look down. So there's a sense of length in the back of the neck, okay? And then on the exhale, rounding the back of the body, crown of the head faces down towards the earth. So you work with your own breathing rhythm. Just remember on the inhale, keep the back of the neck nice and long. Try and let your belly hang loose. And then exhale, just rounding the back of the body up to the sky. Back of the neck is long, crown of the head to the earth. So we'll do a couple more rounds here. Just check your elbows haven't locked. Tuck the toes on the next exhale, downward facing. So as you come up into dog, don't worry about your knees right now. Just keep them fairly bent. Look at your hands, massive, massive palms, okay? Really pressing down into the earth. Elbow creases are soft, so you're not locking out here. And like we did at the beginning, just a feeling of wrapping shoulder blades in towards armpits, and then squeeze your upper arms towards each other. This helps to engage muscles that are totally happy to support ourselves when we're on our hands. And it gets us out of muscles that don't want to do that. And when you lock your elbows out, when your shoulders are up around your ears, you're asking muscles to take weight that they don't want to, okay? So wrapping the shoulder blades in towards the armpits. And then from here, if it's available to your body, don't straighten your legs by locking out your knees. You want to straighten your legs by engaging your quads, your front thighs. So there's this feeling of really pulling up above the knee. Locking out the joints, in my opinion, and it is just my opinion, but I've seen a lot of bodies over the years, and also my own body, you know, locking out the joints doesn't actually get us any stronger. And we want to get strong. We want to use our body in a functional way. One more breath here. Send the weight through the inner ankles, and if you're toe gripping, just soften that energy in the toes. Walk it up, ragdoll. Coming to the top of the mat, the feet are about hip width apart. Keep your knees bent, your belly is on or towards your thighs. Again, long neck, and it's up to you here. You can let your arms hang loose. You can take a hold of opposite elbows. Check the weight distribution in the feet. For me, anyway, I always roll onto the outside edges, and then I kind of come forward and get grippy in the toes. So if that's you as well, just really sending the weight back and into the inner ankles as well. And with the eyes closed, just take 2 breaths up into the low back, up into the sacrum. And feel the exhales, just releasing energy down the legs and out through the balls of the feet. If you're doing something with your arms, just let them hang loose. And then on an exhale, when it comes, just draw your pubic bone into your sacrum as we start to roll up through like a Pilates roll up. And eventually rolling up into mountain. So mountain, again, it's not a knee lock here. You're really strong in the quads. And sometimes they need quite a bit of asking to engage because we sit quite a lot. Our leg muscles can get quite lazy. So soft knee creases, engaging the quads, the glutes. Just get a feeling that you're trying to squeeze your glutes down towards your gluteal creases. So we just have this activation of the lower fibers of glute max working in a functional way, and it's just not all clenching together, which can jam up into the SI joint and then start to compress into low back. So we're going to move through 2 rounds of sun salutes, but at the beginning, just a little half sun salute with like clasping our hands behind our back, but we'll just do it together, right? Soft exhale out, hands into namaste. Excuse me. Soften the knees, inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, clasp hands behind back. If that doesn't work for you, just place your hands on your buttocks. If your hands are clasped, inhale, draw them away from your buttocks, but keep the front rib cage and the belly in. Soften your chin back and then exhale, tilt from the pelvis, forward fold. As you come down, drawing the shoulders up away from the ears. Chair. Inhale into chair. Just again, make sure there's space between your shoulders and your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Low lunge. Inhale, left knee back. Place back knee down. Exhale, as you come up with the torso, you can practice this wrapping of the shoulder blades again into the armpits. Practice the activation of the glutes squeezing down, and that will also help to draw the pubic bone in. So we don't want a massive anterior tilt here. We want more of a neutral pelvis for our body, okay? Hands down, inhale, plank. Release the knees. Now, as we lower down, your elbows bend back. So don't pop them out to the side, they're bending back. The arms are super close in towards the body, shoulders away from the ears. So to align the femurs, the thigh bones in the pelvis, just tuck the toes and then reach back through one heel, like you're lengthening your leg out of your pelvis, and then inwardly rotate the upper thigh and then let go of that leg. And then same on the other side. So you're going to press back through the heel, the knee will come off. And then again, inwardly rotating your upper thigh. Once you've done that, press your pubic bone into the earth, reach the toes back. Inhale up into Sphinx. Elbows are underneath the shoulders, forearms are parallel. Now press down into the forearms so you've got this energy that's lifting you up. Again, don't hyperextend the neck. So look forward and down so the neck is nice and long. Toes reach back, pubic bone anchors into earth. Exhale, downward facing, coming up slow and steady. Again, just make sure your elbows aren't popping out to the side. And once you are in down dog, wrapping shoulder blades into armpits. Swan dive. Inhale, bring left foot forward. Keep your left knee bent. Exhale, right leg comes up into swan dive. So the heart space is open here. The right glutes are supporting the weight of your right leg. So you're not just kicking your right leg up with your toes, because that can really get into the low back. If you want support, keep your fingertips on the floor. If you'd like to go there, bringing your hands into namaste. Check the weight in the left leg, right? So it's weights going through the heel and inner ankle. Forward fold, right foot joins left, nice and long in the back of the neck. Inhale up, we'll go straight into that little flow. Soften the knees, exhale, clasp hands behind back or hands on buttocks. If you're clasped, inhale, hands away from buttocks, keep rib cage and belly in. Draw your chin back in and then tilt from the pelvis, exhale, forward fold, draw shoulder blades up, long in the back of neck. Inhale, chair. Make sure there's space between shoulders and ears. Exhale, forward fold. Low lunge, inhale, right knee back, place it down. Exhale as you come up, again, that wrapping of the shoulder blades, the activation of the right glutes. So we're looking for more of a neutral pelvis here rather than an anterior tilt, okay? Hands down, inhale, plank. Knees down, and again, so you're gently lowering yourself down. There's no collapsing here into the low back. Make sure you're squeezing your upper arms in so you don't pop your elbows out. And then again, tuck the toes, lengthen back through one heel, lengthen back through the other. Internal rotation of the upper thighs. So if you're not sure what I mean, so the front thigh, you're just turning it in towards the midline, okay? Pubic bone anchors down, the toes reach back. Again, inhale up into Sphinx. Elbows underneath shoulders, pressing down through the forearms. Check your neck so you're not hyperextending. It's nice, and when there's length in the neck and we kind of reach forward, it's actually strengthening for the neck. Stay here. Inhale, press into the forearms. Exhale, look over your right shoulder down towards your right foot. Inhale, back to center. Exhale over left shoulder, down towards the left foot. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, release. Yogi's choice here. Inhale up through plank, modified or all fours. So then exhale, take it back downward facing. Check your palms, your elbow creases, the wrapping of the shoulder blades. You don't want to get into the rotator cuff muscles, okay? We want to get into the serratus anterior. These are the lats as well. You know, muscles that are totally happy to support us when we're on our hands. So the wrapping of the shoulder blades, the squeezing of the upper arms, this really helps. Swan dive. Inhale, right foot forward, keep the right knee bent. Exhale, use your left glutes, okay? Don't just kick your left leg up. Use your left glutes to support the weight of your left leg. Right knee is soft, the heart space is open, feeling like you're in a bit of a Sphinx here maybe. If you want balance, keep fingertips on floor, or if you want to, hands into namaste. Check the weight in the right foot, try not to grip with the toes. And then release, forward fold, left foot joins right. Inhale, reach up, back into that flow, soft knees, exhale, clasp hands or hands on buttocks. Inhale, hands away from buttocks, keep the front body in, and then soften your chin back, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. High lunge, inhale, left leg back. Keep a soft left knee crease again. Don't lock that joint out. And then exhale, coming up into high lunge. Reach back through the left heel. Left hip is facing forward. Press down through right inner ankle to get that subtle lift out of right hip crease. Hands down, inhale, plank. Your choice now, knees up or down, but slowly lowering yourself down. Tuck the toes, reach back through the heels, organize the inner thighs, and then inhale up into Cobra. Energetically drag your palms back, don't push them forward because that can compress into the low back. Exhale, release, downward facing. Hurdler, half Hanuman. Inhale, left foot forward, and then release the right knee down so it's underneath the pelvis, and then extending left leg forward. So again, we're not looking for a locked out knee here, okay? Keep the knee crease soft. We're just inviting the quads to work. pressing through the inner ankles, subtly drawing left hip back. So we work with lines of energy, and breath is energy. So it just helps to facilitate movement of energy around the body, the physical body, the non-physical body. One more breath there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, clasp hands behind back. Inhale, hands away from buttocks if you're going there. Bring the chin in, so you don't lead with your chin. Exhale, tilt from the pelvis. Coming down into forward fold. As you do, shoulders draw up away from ears. Inhale into chair. So again, don't jam your shoulders up to your ears. Nice and long in the back of the neck. Exhale, forward fold. High lunge. Inhale, right knee back. Soften right knee crease. Exhale, come up, high lunge. Reach back through the right heel. Right hip faces forward. Press down through inner left ankle to get that subtle lift out of left hip crease. Hands down, inhale, plank. Yogi's choice, knees up or down, but slowly lower yourself down. Organize the legs. This really helps to, just be neutral in the pelvis. And then inhale up into Cobra. Remember, don't push your hands forward energetically like you're trying to drag them back, but they're not moving physically. Exhale, downward facing. Hurdler. Inhale, right foot forward, release left knee down, pelvis stays over the left knee. And then exhale, just scoot your right leg forward. So again, not a knee lock here, keep the knee crease soft. This real engagement of the quads. There's a line of energy pressing through the right inner ankle. There's a subtle energy drawing right hip back. And then we just breathe. For one more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. B-series 2 pose vignettes with that little mini flow. Exhale, clasp hands behind back. Inhale, hands away from buttocks. Keep the front body in, draw the chin back. Exhale, forward fold. Check you're not toe gripping here. Weight distribution is even through the feet. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step it back to plank. Reach back through the heels, round the space between the shoulder blades on an inhale. Exhale, all the way down. Organize the legs. Inhale up into Cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Warrior 2, inhale, left foot forward. Just let your right heel naturally anchor into the earth, and then exhale, coming up, Warrior 2. So just make sure here, don't try and manipulate your pelvis, let it be where it wants to be. Don't lock out the right knee, okay, just a lot of energy reaching back. And your right foot is no more than parallel, okay? So if this is your foot and it's out that way, bring it in or bring it in towards the midline of the body. We're going to take reverse in Archer, Gomukhasana arms. So bring your left arm up and then down. And then right arm up from under. So you can use a strap here if you want. You can take a hold of your top. Or if you bind, but don't flare the front body out if you do bind, okay? You want to keep drawing the navel and front rib cage in. Inhale, reach up through the tip of left elbow. At the same time, just send your left knee forward slightly. Exhale, draw navel and front rib cage in, take it into reverse, which is a side bend, you know, on warrior two legs. You won't go very far with the bind, so don't push or force. But if you can, do let go of the neck and just look down towards your back foot and your back leg. And then you can check here as well that you haven't locked out your right knee. Inhale, press through the inner left ankle, send the left knee forward just a tiny bit. Exhale, lengthening through the left side of the waist up towards the rib cage. Exhale, come back up, navel to spine. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, flip up on the toes of the right foot. So you're into a high lunge. And then from here, we're going to move into pyramid. So walk your right foot in, probably a bit shorter than a warrior one. Feet are on train tracks, okay? So your hip width apart, toes are facing forward. Don't lock the knees. Intense forward fold. Inhale, reach up through the sides of the waist. If you need to, soften the knees. And then exhale, tilt from the pelvis. So if you don't get down to forward fold, okay, which is fine, just rest your hands gently on your front thigh or your front shin, but it's not weight bearing, okay? It's just somewhere to put your hands. If you are in forward fold, it's because the tilt is from the pelvis. No rounding in the upper back, okay? This isn't a competition, you know, to try and get towards the floor or get towards your leg. This is working with your body, paying attention to the breath, not paying attention to the pose. The pose is secondary, you know, it's the breath. Check your knees aren't locked, your toes aren't gripped, and your jaw isn't clenched. Take a breath up into the sacrum. Just let it out, exhale out through the mouth. Hands down, inhale plank. If you want to, exhale Chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale into Cobra or up dog. Slowly exhale it back, downward facing. Check your elbows, the wrap of the shoulder blades. Warrior two. Inhale, right foot forward. Just let the left heel go where it naturally wants to go. And then exhale, coming up into warrior two. So again, just make sure your left knee hasn't locked, but there is a lot of energy reaching back. And check the position of your left foot. If your foot is like open, you get a lot of rotation in your knee, and they don't want that, okay? Coming into Archer, Gomakasana arms, right arm up and it comes down, left arm up from under. If you've just flared your front body out to get the bind, either release the bind or just really draw the front body in. Inhale, reach up through tip of right elbow. Exhale, draw the navel to spine, then take it over into that side bend. Let go of the neck, so look towards your left leg and you can check what your knee is doing. Inhale, just a small sending of your right knee forward, press down through inner right ankle. Exhale, lengthen up from right waist towards rib cage. Keep reaching back through the left leg, but not by locking the knee out. Keep pressing down through inner right ankle. There's that gentle sending of the right knee forward. And then we're lifting out of the hip crease into the waist. For one more. Exhale, bring the torso up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flip up on the toes, so you're into a high lunge. And then from here, just walk your left foot in, so your feet are on train tracks, hip width-ish. Soften the knees if you need to, if you're a knee locker. If you are, I feel your pain. Inhale, reach up, lifting the torso out of pelvis. Exhale, tilt from the pelvis. Either into the forward fold if you go there naturally from the pelvis, and if you don't, just rest on your leg. And just a reminder that what our body does in a pose is at least 60% to do with our structure, like the shape of our bones, the bone heads, how they sit in the joints. So, you can do all the yoga you want in the world, but it's not going to change the shape of your bones and your pelvis. So just be really accepting of your body. Don't try and force and push. We look very similar on the surface, but when you get into it, we're really unique. The shape of the femur head, the thigh bone, how it sits in the pelvis, how deep or shallow the pelvic socket is just unique to everyone. So never force your body, okay? You can explore with the breath, but never force or push, all right? One more. Release it back into downward facing dog. If you'd like a vinyasa, come with me. If you don't, stay here or come onto all fours for cat-cow. Inhale through to plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the floor. Chaturanga is not a press up, okay? It's a heart opener first. And then the arms are led by the heart space opening. Exhale, downward facing. Warrior two, inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Exhale up, warrior two. So this is where you might want your bind, okay? Your strap, to bind. We're going to go into bound triangle. If you don't want to bind, you're going to come into side angle and then triangle, okay? So if you do want to bind, just bringing your left arm in front of your left inner thigh, wrap it underneath and your right arm wraps behind you, or use the strap here. Or coming into side angle, having your left forearm to the inside of your shin and your right arm up towards the sky. So it's up to you what you want to do, or it's up to your body what it wants to do. So just make sure you're listening to your body. And then it's the same movement to come into triangle or bound triangle. Don't lock your knee out. Suction your femur up towards your pelvis, okay? So it's this movement that works towards straightening the leg, not this, okay? This isn't strengthening, this is. And check your right knee hasn't locked out here as well. Let go of the neck, ungrip the toes, close the eyes and breathe. Bend your left knee, release the bind if you've got it, hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the floor. So roll over the toes for up dog, opening the heart space. Keep the elbows soft here. Exhale, downward facing. Again, soft elbow creases, shoulder blades wrapping into armpits. Warrior two, inhale, right foot forward, left heel down. Exhale, coming up, warrior two. So strap to hand if you want to bind. If you don't want to bind, come into side angle. If you do want to bind, now's your time. So if you are binding, just a reminder, your heart space is open. So if you're binding and you're all hunched over and like hanging out down towards the floor, either use a strap or just forget it. And then from here again, with the right leg, don't lock your knee out. Suction your femur up into the pelvis. So the knees don't ever lock. They're strong and they're grounded through muscular activation, but no joint locking, no toe gripping. If you can, let go of the neck, close your eyes and breathe. If you're wobbly, breathe into the sacrum. It's our center, it's our point of balance, it's our center of gravity. If you're not sure what it is, it's the triangular bone at the base of the spine. We've already breathed into it during practice. Release, hands down, step it back to downward facing dog. Check here, it's the last dog of practice. Soft elbows, shoulder blades wrapping into armpits, squeezing upper arms in. One more breath here. Release the knees, coming down into child's pose. If child's pose isn't comfortable for you, you can come into a seated position, which is what we're going to head into next. And if you are in child's and your head doesn't connect into the earth, just use your hands as a pillow, all right? Staying focused on the breath. And then just gently supporting yourself up, coming into a seated position, and we'll spend the last couple of minutes together in meditation, in a stillness practice. So meditation is quite a loaded word, I find, and maybe there's a bit of pressure. So it's just being still. It's about choosing to, in this case, choosing to keep placing your focus onto the breath. You can rest your hands wherever they feel comfortable. If you like to work with a mudra, you can work with a mudra if you know what that is. Eyes are closed. That feeling, that lift up through the crown of the head. And at the same time, that gentle connection of the sit bones into earth. 2 minutes of observing the breath. And if you flow off into your day, you start thinking about life, which is, we all do it. In that moment, when you become aware of that, you just come back again and just focus on the breath. It's not a big deal. If you'd like to come with me, sealing the practice with the sound of Om. Hands into Namaste. Soft exhale out. Deep inhale to Om. Om. Thumbs up to brow center. Namaste. Thank you very much for doing this practice with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please get in touch. If you would like in-person or online one-to-ones, if there's something specific that you want to work on, just get in touch. Or if you've just got a question and you want to ask something about your practice, also, you know, just get in touch. All right, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye. See